Gold Coast has already seen its fair share of storms this season. Of course, storm season is well and truly upon us. And although they can be devastating, they're also unbelievably beautiful to watch sometimes. And Fairfax photographer Nick Moyer lives to capture those amazing pictures, and he joins us now to tell us all about it. Good morning, Nick.
Hi.
So, Nick, tell us, look, why do you want to be a storm chaser? What makes you want to do that?
Well, initially it was a hatred of lawn mowing, and I was watching the storms to see when they'd come over and drop water on the the kilometres.
The housework, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. But then, in about '98, I got into position underneath the main updraft of a supercell thunderstorm, and when you're under one of those, you're in the presence of something bigger than you. It's almost like a pilgrimage to something really amazing.
We look at some of these photos now. I mean, what does it feel like to be in the front line of some fires or thunderstorms, or even, there's a lot of storm chasers out there chasing tornadoes? Yeah,
well, tornadoes is one area where, like the stuff that we did that's in Colorado. Yeah. Storm chasing in the US, the storm chasers have really provided a lot of information about meteorology, especially since the 70s and 80s. So it's these guys who have kind of become obsessed, who have actually, pushed the knowledge of weather really quite forward.
It is an obsession, and they do push the limits a lot. You yourself have been to Tornado Alley in the United States. Yeah. Would you say that's the most terrifying thing you've covered?
Fires is the most scariest because there's so much more to learn about them. But it's a pilgrimage when you go over to the States. So we get bad storms, but over there, when you're in the presence of one of these things, it's get out of the way. So in some ways, it's not storm chasing; it's more storm surfing. You stay just ahead, and there's very particular locations to be. So, yeah.
How close do you get though? Like, I mean,
you can be metres away from a like half a kilometre away from a low-end tornado. In fact, once in Texas in 2006, we were watching for a tornado about 2 or 3 kilometres away when we looked next to us, and about 30 metres away, a really weak tornado actually formed up.
Wow.
Wow.
I was so excited I left the handbrake off the car, and everybody else was screaming, "What are you doing?" And I ran out of the car. And,
do you fear for your life, or is it pure adrenaline, or are you scared? Are there moments of pure fear?
You get fear when you don't know what you're doing. So in 2006, we were chasing in South Dakota at night, which is kind of dangerous. You're kind of relying on radar, which is about 5 minutes old, each frame, and if you get out of position to where a tornado could drop, you're in real strife, and the only thing you can see is lit by lightning. So we were just seeing a lot of rotation in the clouds. We couldn't see a tornado, but it can drop down at any stage, and you're confined to one road which is covered in, hail inches thick. And
Well, Nick, you've also been on the front line of our bushfires here, which is also extremely dangerous. Tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, look, there's so much more knowledge to find in Australian bushfires because they're so difficult to actually get to, and most of the work that goes on is by fire is just trying to get people out of the way and save houses. Really, some of the big gain in knowledge has been in 2003 when some fire scientists happened to be at Canberra and saw what was going on. And there's kind of a combination of storm chasing and bushfires occurring now when they're discovering a thing called a pyrocumulonimbus, which is essentially a fire becomes so strong and the atmosphere is right that a bushfire can create a tornadic supercell thunderstorm. They found, the days after the Canberra fires, me and another mate found a lot of evidence of tornado damage outside of Canberra and even in Canberra itself where there was no fire damage. So there was a suburb called Canberra, and I was looking around going, this is tornado damage, what's going on here? And then some evidence came out that, a tornado had been formed.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for your time this morning coming in. They're amazing photos.
Takes a brave man to capture them.
No, this is a stupid one.
Your words, not ours.